Carrots are a great crop to grow in the vegetable garden. They take up little space, they're low effort, and while you can grow them in the ground, you can also grow them in containers, which is great if you only have a small garden. And growing carrots this way helps you overcome two problems that you might face. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to grow carrots from seed in containers like this one. For growing carrots this way, you're going to want a suitable container with drainage holes, some carrot seeds, and a very fine compost. And while the entire carrot is edible, most people are just after that sugary root. And if it finds something that obstructs its path, like a rock or a large piece of wood, then that root will deform and you'll get a wonky carrot. To avoid that and get straight carrots, I'm going to do three things. I'm going to pick a variety that produces short carrots, so I'm going to be growing these Chantenay red cord. I picked a container that's deep enough for the carrot. Chantenay carrots tend to only grow 2 or 3 inches, but if you want to grow a longer variety, then you might need a deeper container. And I'm also going to sift my compost before adding it to the container, and I'm going to mix in a ton of coconut coir. Not only does it bulk out the mix and make the compost go further, but it's light and fluffy, which means the root can just grow straight through it, and it retains water, which is great for container gardening. And once you've got your container ready, it's time to sow some seeds. You should try to do so thinly, as germination is normally high, and it will save you time later when you come to thin out the seedlings. I sow my carrot seeds in rows, and because of the small size of the carrots, I try to sow them quite close together, maybe only 3 inches between rows. Take your finger and dig out some shallow trenches and lightly sprinkle in the seeds. Then lightly cover your seeds with very fine compost or some more coir. If you want, you can place some wood or cardboard directly on top, or cover the whole container in cling film to ensure that the seed stays moist. I didn't try that this year and instead relied on the April showers and had some great success. Once you've sown your seed, you can leave the container in the garden, move it into the greenhouse, or even bring it indoors and then wait for the seeds to germinate. With carrots, you're going to need to be patient. These guys can take 2 weeks to germinate. Make sure the surface doesn't dry out in the meantime, and if you are going to directly cover the soil, then be sure to check on your seedlings regularly and to remove that cardboard, wood or cling film as soon as you see the first signs of growth. When the carrot seedlings emerge, you're going to want to thin them out to make sure that no 2 seedlings are less than a couple of inches apart, depending on the variety. Not only will 2 neighbours that are too close to each other slow each other down, but this is another way of getting wonky carrots. To thin them, you can either cut off the tops using a tiny pair of scissors, or you can pull them out by hand. They say that thinning carrots can attract carrot whitefly. One way of avoiding this problem is to have a container that's taller than 50 centimetres, as they aren't actually good flyers, and while I've never had a problem with that myself, I take the precaution and do the thinning indoors, as it's a smell that attracts them, and then return the container to the garden the next morning. Keep the soil moist, and in 3 or 4 months you should be ready to harvest. And you can tell if a carrot is ready to harvest by rubbing away the soil around the top of the carrot to get a measure of its size. Grab the carrot by the stem and give it a good wiggle until the root becomes free. Here's one I tried growing in the ground last year. I left it here over winter, so it's probably a little bit woody, it's definitely oversized, and it was very difficult to pull up. But lifting carrots grown in containers is super easy, and if you make repeated stagger sowings throughout the year, then you could end up with a fresh supply of carrots all year round. And if you want to grow other vegetables in your garden or allotment plot, then click here to see what my top seeds are to sow this month. Otherwise, as always, happy gardening.